Real quick, I wanted to show you guys I am actively working on the bike. I do have the new steel quick change rear sprocket here for it. So I just got to get that stuff installed, the new chain and the front sprocket. But today we're going to talk about cars. Story time, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Out here in the Accord, just chilling, listening to some music, and just trying to catch the vibes and get creative. And I started thinking about what I'm going to do to this car to make it unique and make it my own. So a little bit of a background, like I said, story time here. I've been hooking up cars my entire life. My entire life has been, you know, just building custom cars. You know, when I was a young man, I was 17, I started painting cars. I worked at a shop called Go Customs. I was a half owner of it eventually, sort of, in a way. And you know, we did a lot of cars in Honda Tuning Magazine, Import Tuning Magazine. If you were from Philadelphia and you wanted your car hooked up, you come to us, right? So in New Jersey too, we were just the shop, right? Go Custom was the shop, and I was in charge, right? And I was just a young kid, but I was good at what I did. I was painting cars for a long time. So nonetheless, though, I've always had hooked up cars, all right? The reason why a lot of you guys don't know this on my channel is because when I started my YouTube channel, it was the end of my automotive career. I was painting trucks at Coca-Cola, and that is when that shop got shut down and closed by Coke. They offered me a job in industrial maintenance, and when I took that job, I just kind of flew off to where I'm at now, as at Tesla, where I'm in robotics, more or less, you know. So you know, big career change, but I still have this passion for hooking up cars. And obviously, you know, I have the Ducati Panigale, and you know, that's I got a lot of work to do to that bike right now. But I'm just not somebody who can have a stock car, especially a car as sought after as the 10th gen Honda Accord. And this car just deserves my attention. Of course, you know, I was like, I'm not gonna touch the car. Of course I'm gonna do something in this car. Not gonna go crazy, but let's talk about that. Let's flip the camera around, take a little walk around. I'll talk to you guys about the car and kind of my mind frame on how you should be hooking up your cars. If you're gonna be hooking up your Accord specifically, we'll kind of get in specific. This is how I've been doing this a real long time, guys. Always had a big body sedan, just to name a few. When I was younger, I had a 1997 Honda Accord that was had everything done to it, shaved door handles, the whole nine. And it was also, I had an Acura CL front end on it, so I changed the whole front end of the car. It had the full body kit, Buddy Club body kit. I still remember the name, the Buddy Club kit. I had a couple Civics too that had the Buddy Club kits and Type Rs. But I always had these big body sedans. I also had, when I had my Honda S2000, which ironically was the same color as this car, I had my Honda S2000. That car, at the same time, I had a big body four-door Infiniti i30T. And that was a big body luxury car with all leather, had a curtain in the back that went up. That car was really nice. I had it slammed on Eibach springs. It was like a 3-inch drop Eibach, and then 20s on it. So that was a big body car. The Accord I had was a big body car. I had the Kia Optima 4-door as a big body car. I didn't do nothing to. I hated that car. But I just always been a big fan of these big 4-door sedans. You know, I'm a single guy. But I just don't like these little dinky cars. If I want to go fast, I get on my motorcycle and go fast, you know. You know, I don't, you know, I do like fast cars. Like I had the Honda 2000, and, you know, oh, well, you know, people say, well, why would you put money in this car? Why don't you just save up money and get the car, a nice car you can go, you know, like an M3, you know, I like an M3. And like my mind frame is to, well, why wouldn't I just get that too? Why wouldn't I just make more money so I can get that car too? Like, it's not about saving money or like not getting something I want so I can get something else. It's about making more money so I can get all the things, guys. You know, like, it's like, why would you put money in this and not just get a ZX-10? Well, why don't I just get a ZX-10? Why don't I just make more money and get a ZX-10? So, yeah, I mean, that's my mind frame. I've always been like that. When somebody tells me I can't do something, or when somebody tells me it's harder, I go for it. And I've been like that since I was 14 years old. Ever since my big brother told me, I said, I'm going to automotive collision repair in high school instead of automotive mechanics like what he does. And he goes, well, you know that's harder, right? And I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm going for it. And I did, and I became really good at it, actually the best at it. So let's get out. I'll talk to you guys about my mindset and my coming from a veteran of hooking cars and big body sedans for years and years. I'm going to tell you how you hook one of these cars up. All right, so big body sedan, 4-door Honda Accord. This is the 10th gen 2020 1.5 turbo. So it's actually a Type R engine in here without the bigger cam and big turbo. So doesn't have that aggressive cam and turbo like the Type R's have, but that is what that engine is, essentially. So only thing wrong with the car, it's got a big old dent in the rear quarter back there. They're gonna take care of that at the dealer. I just got to get the car back in there in a few weeks here when they get me scheduled in. So not a big deal. We'll get that taken care of. I bought the car before it went through their whole like used car process. Like I see somebody traded the car and I bought it the next day. You know, they serviced it and did the things they had to do, and I took the thing home. I love it. It's a great car. You know, this is a sought after car, and like a lot of people are like, well, why would you touch it? Like, just leave it stock. It's like, I just can't. I physically can't do that. You know, it's just not part of who I am as a person. So we are going to do some cool things with this car to make it unique. We're not going to get super crazy. I'm going to try to stay practical here, you know. And what I mean by that is the suspension. So like I see a lot of people make the mistake of hooking this car up, and the first thing they do is they go and buy a lip kit. You know, they buy a lip kit and they put it on there and the car's not lowered. And then they go and buy some big wheels, you know, either 20s or 19s, and it just don't look right. It just doesn't look right because the car isn't lowered, you know. So in my opinion, and through having these big body sedans my whole life and working on cars and upgrading cars my whole life, you know, the very first thing you do to a car like this, if you're going to go down the road of touching it and doing things to it, the very first thing you need to do, guys, is lower your car, guys and girls. All right, you got to lower the car. It is what it is. I know it sounds like, oh, well, why would you lower it? And now you're going to have to worry about potholes and bumps and whatever. It's like, not really. I mean, that's kind of like one of those things that people make up an excuse because they don't have creative mind enough to make their cars cool. And it's just like, people think it's impractical. It isn't. You're actually beefing up the suspension of the car when you upgrade it if you do it right. You know, a lot of times springs are stiffer. They make the ride better. So, you know, it's just like one of those things that people just don't understand, right? They don't get it. They don't like, when I'm telling you I'm upgrading it, well, what are you doing to your car? I'm upgrading it because it's an upgrade. You know, it's not a downgrade. You're not putting suspension to downgrade the car. You know, obviously resale value goes down because it's worth more to more people. It's not worth more to the right person, but it's worth more to more people when you leave it stock, okay? That doesn't mean the car loses value. You know, it just means it loses value to less amount of people, all right? Less amount of people are going to want a hooked up car versus a lot of people who want a car that's just stock they can make their own. Like me, I was specifically looking for a 4-door big body sedan that I can hook up that didn't have, like, you know, I could have bought the 2.0 turbo. There was one outside of where my buddy had. It was a black one. The 2.0 turbo had 18-inch wheels. The car was $27,000, and it was a 21. And it had 50,000 miles on it. So, you know, it was just a little bit out of my price range I wanted to spend, especially on a car that I'm going to tear the wheels off anyway. You know, and like, honestly, the wheels are like, it's like the dumbest thing you should be worried about anyway. If you want to hook your car up, guys, you absolutely have to lower it. So you're going to have 3 options, all right? The most practical option, if you want to go cheap and just lower it and not have to make adjustments and you're going to daily the car, just get yourself a 2-inch drop, and that's all you need to do. But look at what 2 inches is going to get you. You think a 2-inch drop is going to sit here. It's not. The car is still going to sit up in this area. All right. You're not going to be slammed. You're not going to be tucked. You're not going to achieve that with a spring. All right. If you want to achieve a more lowered stance outside of air ride, your only choice is coilovers. But you just have to know that when you have your coilovers, you have to keep adjusting it every time you want the car to be low. So, You know, it's kind of more or less for race cars, honestly. Like, it's cars that are set and dialed in for the day, you know, as opposed to like what track they're at or wherever they're riding for the day or running, you know, and that's how they're going to set the suspension up. So what that leaves you the option of, how do you get this thing low? How do you slam this thing to the ground? Honestly, it's kind of obvious at this point that you put air ride suspension on this thing, and that's what we're going to do. So I've already started figuring out what I want. I'm going to get the AirTech Gen 4 or AirTech Stage 4 kit. The reason why I'm just going to save up and get the nice kit is because the Stage 1 kit only allows you to go up and down, and it also only has one compressor. And going from my experience is like, they'll tell you right out of the gate that it's going to take forever to fill the tank. No, it takes forever. So just going to get the Stage 4. It does each wheel individually, goes up and down, has the extra compressor. It's got the 5-gallon chrome tank. And then, you know, it's like $4,000. And then, you know, it's not a big deal if you do it yourself, which I can do. I know that a lot of people, that scares a lot of people away because they're like, man, I got to get the air ride, and then I have to get it installed, which is going to cost like $2,000, you know, because it's a lot of plumbing. You know, you put the suspension, you got to tear the suspension out, put the new air ride suspension in, and then you also have to run the plumbing all the way to the tanks and compressors and bigger battery and all that stuff, maybe even an extra battery, right? So that's the road we're going down, guys. We're going to put air ride suspension in this car. That's the first thing we're doing to this thing. We're not going to do anything else. You know, I've been looking at a handful of videos where I see like the lip kit. I see the lip kit on the Accord, on this Gen Accord, and the wheels, and then you hear them in the video and somebody's like, oh, you're going to lower it, and they're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to lower it. I'm going to do that next. And it's just like, you're so backwards. Why wouldn't you do that first? It should be the very first thing you're going to do. If you plan on doing anything to this car of that sort, you need to lower the car. I mean, I get like the lip kits look good on there to a certain extent, but in my opinion, the car looks better stock than with a lip kit and wheels that's not lowered. Just leave the car stock. Now, back to that point, stock. When this car's sitting frame, which it will do with the air ride suspension, this car is going to sit on the ground. The fender is going to be over top of the tire. I don't have to roll the fenders because I'm going to put 19x7s on here. I'm going to offset the rear, so big beefy tire in the back. You don't necessarily need to do that on a front wheel drive car, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to look better. So, and that's about as far as I could go with it before I got to roll the fenders out of this thing from all my research, right? So, you know, we're going to air ride suspension this thing, and that is going to look good with the stock wheels. You don't have to do nothing else at that point. Just having the air ride on there kills the game. It's like, damn, dude, that thing looks so clean. It's going to look so clean sitting with the stock body on the ground. Now, I'm going to try to find a kit for this that I want. That's a Type R kit, Honda Accord Type R. I don't know if they made one in this gen. I have to do more research, or maybe even if a company, like, seeing their concept from Honda that they had, because I know they were going to make one. We're going to get that Type R lip kit. I'm not a big fan of the Yofer one or whatever everyone gets. It's got too much. It looks too racy. This is a big body sedan. It don't need much. It just needs a little bit of a lip under there, some side skirts, and then the rear, once I figure out what I'm going to do with that crazy, ridiculous, cheesy exhaust they have on this car. You know, that's the only thing. The 2.0 come with a real nice dual exhaust setup, where this car only come with the option to do that later if you want. I also just tore off the door edge guards. I'll clean them up, don't worry. But yeah, you take these plates out and you can get your dual exhaust, but right now I just have these terrible dual exhausts on there. So we're gonna get that taken care of. We're gonna put the lip on it, but we're not gonna do any of that until the car is sitting on the ground. And I'm telling you that this bad boy is gonna sit frame, y'all. All right, and that's just what you do. Then we're gonna add the whale tail, possibly 10 on a 35 all the way around, even the front windshield, like my Kia was. And then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the side skirts and front bumper. We'll figure out the wheels. As far as the engine, we're just gonna probably put an intake, maybe a downpipe, and then a full exhaust. And that's all we're gonna do, and then I'm gonna get it tuned. All right, so, and then outside of that, really, guys, that's it. That's all you need to do to the outside of this car. Keep the paint the same. I love this gunmetal color. It's my favorite Honda color. I've had my S2000 in this color. I just love it. I think it looks so clean. The color wheels we're gonna do, obviously silver. We're gonna probably do a chrome delete and maybe do silver. a flat brushed gunmetal look on all of the chrome, and then we're do the probably like a monoblock deep dish wheel with sitting frame. All right, so this car is gonna look so sick. All right, so give me about a year. We'll probably take a better part of the year to do this. I'm not gonna spend a ton of money on it right away. I am gonna actively start figuring out how to get the air ride done and get that accomplished as fast as possible. That should be just a quick job to do, maybe a couple days. We'll have the car down for that. So yeah, that's gonna be cool. So outside of all of those cosmetic, the suspension and the wheels and the lip kit, it's really all I got to do to the car outside of, like, you know, the chrome delete. Like I said, I want to do the brushed aluminum look. Fuck, what the hell is that, bro? A fucking monkey or something? All right. Anyways, that was weird, dude. What was that thing? I'm actually getting hungry too. So yeah, yeah, it's gonna look good. And like, I know people, oh, why would you do? Like I said, man, it's just part of my life. This is what I do. I hook up cars. I like uniqueness all the way around, all parts of my life. I like unique stuff. I don't like having things that everyone else has. The car looks good right now. It's beautiful. It runs good, but I have to make it my own, you know. And you know, look at this thing. Could you imagine this thing just slammed, just like this? It's gonna look awesome. And I really can't wait to show you guys how to install an air ride. I've done many air ride kits in my day. Many air ride kits, guys. I'm actually, man, I wish I filmed all that stuff, but we didn't have YouTube and all that when I was doing that kind of stuff. You got to remember, I'm 40 years old. I've only had my channel for 6 years, and I've been out of the game, but we're back in it. Like I said, we're going to be trying to figure out how to get a shop soon here too, and a place to do all this stuff and work on bikes, work on cars. Guys, this is where it started. I told you guys I was going to do all this stuff. I told you guys it was happening. And yeah, I couldn't afford like some crazy Corvette like 650 Eve who doesn't even do any of that work to his car anyway. He just takes it to the shops and does it all. You know, I do all this stuff myself. Show you guys, teach you guys, and like, this is my mindset and my mindset about how to hook up a big body sedan like this. You got to be careful, man. You don't want to throw big wheels on this. It's going to look ugly. You don't want to throw the lip kit on there at the stock wheels. You don't want to do just a big 20-inch wheel on this car. It's going to look stupid. The very first thing you need to do is lower it outside of tint. If you want to tint your windows, because that's practical. Like, you know, a practical upgrade for this car would be tint. It's hot in Texas, but, you know, going too dark is hard to see at night. But this car got sensors and backup camera and all that stuff, so it's not really that big of a deal anymore. But yeah, I just don't like the way, you know, people, you know, they put these big 20s. It's silly, you know. There's tires are expensive, and like, you know, as far as, well, how is upgrading the suspension to air practical? Well, the car is gonna ride like a freaking, like, very nice. It's gonna ride, you know, very nice, floaty. You're not gonna feel it. It's just, air ride suspension is very good. That's why they put it on tractor trailers that carry big thousands of pounds of weight, and they're fine, right? So air ride is really good. It's not like back in the day where air ride, where your car's bouncing all over the place. That's not what this is. You know, it's really nice. And then also, we're not just gonna upgrade the air. We're gonna upgrade the control arms. We're gonna put sway bars in this thing. You know, strut bars, the whole thing. This suspension's getting beefed up. It's not getting downgraded. That's an upgrade all the way around. An air ride is an upgrade when you do it right. All right. As far as the wheels and tires go, like I said, I'm putting a 19x7 on here. Actually, I might even look about putting an 18 on here, and then just putting a nice all-season tire on it. That's a really good tire. Let me know in the comments what you guys use for all-season tire on your 19s or 20s, or 18s, I mean. Because I think the 18 might look better with the bigger tire lowered. So we're going to look at I want it to be, that's a practical thing. Like, it's, yo, could I lay this thing frame and put rubber band tires on this thing? That would be silly. This is a daily driver. So, you know, I want it to look good when it's sitting down on the ground. I want to be able to raise the car when I'm driving it, right? But still have that lowered effect. And then that kit that I'm getting comes with the gauges, individual tires, AirTech. That's going to be beautiful. Hey, AirTech, y'all should holler at me if you want. Y'all should holler at me. Maybe you can give me a discount or something towards the channel and do the install, and holler at your boy. because I plan on buying your kit. So we're gonna see. But you know, as far as bike stuff goes, guys, the bike's gonna be down for a little while. I got a lot of work to do to the bike, lots of work, and then you know, we'll have the bike stuff going here and there as well, and you know, maybe possibly get another bike here in the future, because that's also part of the plan. So, but right now we're gonna focus on this car, and you know, focus on just building my credit, and just, you know, doing minor upgrade to this as we go along. You know, I want to upgrade the trim inside later, upgrade the system, speakers a little bit, nothing crazy, maybe a 10-inch subwoofer in there somewhere, upgrade the door panel speakers. I'm happy with the head unit, but I'd probably like to have something a little nicer, and then different leather seats. And then we're going to upgrade this to the touring, the leather. So there's some things we're going to do. Like, the interior is pretty basic on this car. It's very basic. It's like, doesn't even look real premium, but they are nice, you know. But it's clean. It's clean, so that's what I'm happy with. And so we're going to get some leather. We're going to get that all leathered up. The car's... This is a good car. It's a really good car to get. If you like big body sedans, and you know, you want a real good car that's going to last you a long time, not have any problems, I don't think there's anything better than the Accord. This car sells better than any car that's ever been made. So, you know, outside of nowadays with the Model Y and Tesla, but this is just a good car, you know, and it's fun to hook up. They look good when they're hooked up, but like I said, you got to be real careful with these big bodies. You know, just putting wheels or vice versa, just putting lip kit doesn't make any sense. The first thing you want to do with this car, guys, is lower it. Again, outside of tinted windows. But hey, to each is their own. I respect anybody that goes out and does their own thing to their car and makes it unique to them. You know, but I just don't like the tacky. I don't like the tacky lips that's all over with the stickers on a car like this. This car needs to be kept clean. It needs to be kept mainly stock looking when it's lowered, this car like this. It doesn't look good when it has too many aftermarket parts on it. It doesn't look good when you open up and look in the interior of these cars and you see like the blue paddle shifters that I've seen everywhere, and these things painted red or this red or whatever. I do like the lighting, that looks sick, and the rubber carpets, but like, and some of the cool steering wheels, but I don't like all that tacky crazy nonsense all over. Just keep it clean, look nice. I like the clean look of the windows that you see through. So I'm having a tough time wanting to tint the car, because when you have a clean set of windows and the car is slammed, it just really looks good when you can see it in the car. But out here in Texas, it's hot as balls, guys. It's so hot. It was 105 degrees 2 weeks ago, 108 degrees. So it gets hot, and you know, having a car that's tinted is very beneficial for your, and it's just, you know, the sun is so hard to see in the sun. It's just not great. So one thing that I'm gonna do for sure though is, I seen it on another car, I don't know where he got it, but I'm gonna look for it when I get home, is in Texas we have to have the front plate, or I would figure out a way to delete this, because I know it's gonna be quite ugly there when we get all that off. But we're gonna move that bracket over here, and we're gonna get the side mounted plate, because that's a JDM thing where it's over here, and I think that looks so sick. We're going to do that pretty soon, because I can't stand that fucking plate. Oh my God, the front plate drives me crazy, but we got to do it out here in Texas. Is what it is. We'll get that dent taken care of, and that's really it, man. I might throw, you know, the taillights I've seen for this. There's a couple of different ones that I've seen. There's a couple of different, it looks like an A5. Like my buddy who sold me the car, Ian, shout out to him for selling me the car. He told me, so I say A5. I'm like, it does kind of, yeah. But they make a nice little rear taillight kits for this, but I don't like too much tacky. I do like the whale tail wing that comes off it from Honda. It's a bigger one though, that I like better. So probably not get the tiny Honda one. We'll get the big body. The tiny Honda one comes on a 2.0 turbo, like my neighbor has one. Hey guys, my neighbor, he got one too. His is real nice. That's the 2.0 turbo. So I got to make a quick correction. You're going to keep hearing me say that these wheels on the bigger 2.0 or 18s are actually 19s. So my bad. I'll say that a few times in the video, but they are 19-inch rims. And on this car, it's a 17. So I don't know why I was thinking it was a whole nother just an inch, but you know, I started looking at this car here, and I'm like, there's no way that's just an 18 on that low pro tire. So it's a 19. Correction made.
and he's got the leather package. That's going to be 18s on there. But you can see the difference there with the trim packages. That's a nice car. And, his car actually made me want to get one of these to begin with, but you can see kind of the difference. But even that car, just lowering that car just a hair, whew, putting a lip kit, that car is real nice. I love the way those wheels. And if they were so much money, I would just grab those and slam it on them wheels. But, you know, we'll have to get some wheels. They'll be cheaper. They're stock Honda wheels. Unless you can find them, they're pretty expensive. But, yeah, that car, that car looks awesome. And he's got the leather interior and whatnot. So, I might look around in the junkyard, see if I can find a totaled one and grab the leather package out of it. So, we'll have to check into that. But keep an eye. I'm going to switch the interior to leather for sure. I almost wonder if he has the leather touring package on the inside. So like, I don't want to like look in his car, but there's there's like a little trim package right there, right where I'm looking at. That's a nice leather cushion. I don't know. So that's what we were trying to compare. And I'll move that license plate. It's gonna look good when it's over here. I'm not gonna eat my food and look into some of that stuff when I get in the house. And his car is tinted too. They just look good. These are good looking cars, man. This is that big body with the special color on it with the 18s. That's a nice car. Sheesh. And he got the spoiler on the back. So that's what these look like with 18s not lowered. They look good. That color is sick too. Love that color. But like I said, you put the, you know, gotta lower the car for sure. That thing's sick. And it comes with the 18s and all that, but we're definitely going to throw a whale tail on it. And that's just later though, you know. The lip kit, I will be getting painted to the color of the car. So it's not like the lip kit I'm going to have black. I think that looks, it's going to look weird. If I go down that road, then I'm going to do black wheels and black chrome delete. But since I'm doing the polished aluminum, the brushed aluminum look on the delete, I'm going to do brushed aluminum wheels just how they are now, just slammed with the color-coded kit. So it's going to look mean, dude. This car is going to look so mean. Also, probably some carbon fiber here and there. We'll do some carbon fiber accents. We'll see what I can find in carbon fiber. If I can find it, I'll do it. Hear them bikes, boys. I'm not on the bike, and it drives me crazy. I must ride, and I want to ride. But the bike's down right now, so that is what it is. But here's what we're doing. This is what we're doing. That's my mindset of how you hook up a Honda Accord and a big body four-door sedan, whether it's an Accord or, you know, a Toyota Camry or the Lexus, the big body Lexus, any kind of four-door. Big body four-doors, man, they look so good when you just lower the car. You don't need to put wheels. You don't need to put the lip on these. You need to lower this thing. And that's where these things really shine. And you'll have a takeover parking lot car. All right. If you just slam the thing on air rides and that's all you do, you'll take over the parking lot in your car. It's just going to look so good. So if you're after that, it's like, man, I want the coolest car in the parking lot at the show, then avoid at all costs putting a lip kit on your car, because everyone is going to look at your car and be like, this shit looks ugly as hell. Small ass wheels, wheel gap. No, everyone's going to walk by your car. No one cares anyway, either way. But like in the car scene, if you want to be the guy, you're going to air ride suspension this thing, or whatever car you're in that you're trying to hook up. You want the car to sit frame, you know? And that's the idea. That's the idea you want to go with first. That's where you want to put your money and your time in first. Don't invest in anything else besides that. Take it from me, a veteran in the game, my boys. A veteran in the game. And that's how it's done. So, and then, you know, then you get the lip and then you get the wheels, and you don't put either of those on until you have both, right? It's like, you know, you see guys, and I know guys are bullshitting about their car, because you're like, you talk to them about their car, right? And you're like, yeah, you know, I got the lip kit, I got the wheels. It's like, man, when are you going to lower it? Oh, I'm saving up for that now. It's like, damn, so you want to lower it, right? Oh, yeah, I can't wait. Looks, yeah, get rid of that wheel gap. I'm like, bro, you know the car would look a million times better if you just lowered it first and did all those things after. It's just a mind fuck you do with yourself, where it's cheaper, the cheapest thing first, right? Like, oh, I don't have much money. I'll throw the lip kit on there and it's going to make it look lower. No, it's going to make it look bigger. It's going to make the car look bigger and not lower. It's just, you're adding more material to it. And that's all you're doing. You're changing the dynamic of the car without changing the flow of the car as opposed to the ground. And so lowering the car accomplishes all of that. You know, if you just lower the car, you accomplish so many things that you were after. And even if you just want to throw some springs on it until you have enough to get the until you have enough to get your air ride, right? Just throw some $350 3-inch drop springs on this thing, get the thing alignment done, and maybe upgrade the sway bars and links and stuff, and the strut bars, and then you'll be good to go. You'll be good to go for a little while. But once you put wheels on it in a lip kit without it sitting down on the ground, it kind of looks stupid. But anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you shop in the links below. There's tons of links now available for you guys to help support the channel if you guys want to. Looking for some automotive stores. If you guys own any kind of automotive stores, you're watching the video, you're seeing the content, you like what you see. I work on bikes. I obviously do cars now too, and all the things in between. So holla at me. So subscribe if you want to see this build, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you all. Peace.